I've been wanting to talk about this little DAC amp for a long time. This is the ROSESELSA RZ550 that happens to have the ES or ESS 9039 DAC amp chip in it, and it's a very good amp chip. In fact, I've seen it in a lot more high-end sort of desktop setups as well. Now, I have always liked the i-Fi Go-Link. It's always been my go-to DAC amp, but ever since I've been listening to this has been my go-to. I always reach for this. I somehow just bypass the i-Fi Go-Link as much as I did like it. Now the i-Fi, I have done a few comparisons with that and other more affordable sort of portable DAC amps or dongle DAC amps, and I've always sort of preferred how the i-Fi sounds. But this one is, I say, a little more neutral sounding than the i-Fi. It's not as colored. The i-Fi definitely leans towards being slightly warmer than this, but this does push for a more neutral approach. But anyway, moving on to this, well, when it comes to its overall build, it's a cute little sort of rectangular piece. And I like that it's got sort of different sizing on each side. One is, of course, for the balanced output, and the other is for the unbalanced. This is the 3.5 mm, and this is the balance is a 4.4. And the other side, of course, does have the USB Type-C input, and you do get this cable along with it. And of course, you do get the brand stuff written on it as well. Now, it's cool what's under it, because it's almost like there's a sort of layout of what's on the inside. I really like how they've done this. And also, there's a mention of the power output for the 3.5, which is 240 milliwatts, whereas the balanced is a 300 milliwatts. So it's definitely very nicely done. I do like the little drawing at the back. It's a pretty cool thing to see. And then when I do plug this into my Mac, it does show me that it can do 384 by 32 bits, which is, I think, more than anyone's even listening to. I think honestly 44/116 is kind of the best thing out there, unless you are really particular about pushing for 192/24. But the option is there, of course. 32-bit is stuff that you're using if you're into editing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it does pretty well with all its conversion and all that sort of stuff. You just have to have access to those files to be able to really try that out. I've only really tested it with 192/24. Up to that limit, it does a pretty good job of it. But then coming to its overall power output, I think the main thing with this is its overall power, because it's definitely way more powerful than the i-Fi. I think the i-Fi does about 70 milliwatts, whereas this sits at 240 with 3.5, and you have the 4.4 option with balanced at 300 milliwatts, which is that much more. And the thing is, it's not about redlining it all the time. If you've been in the audio hobby for long enough, it's not about holding these things at max volume or whatever. It's having that much headroom only ensures that you're going to be using that much lesser power to crank your IEMs or headphones or whatever else. And one thing that's very plain whenever I've done any back and forth with the i-Fi is that the headroom does make a difference. In the sense, for one, it does seem like it's got a lower noise floor. Only when you do the A/B testing, really. I mean, comparison is the thief of joy, but yeah, I do like the i-Fi, but it makes things a lot more apparent when you do the A/B testing. And things are a lot more calm and cool, in the sense when you start cranking the volume up, usually I listen to these at maybe anywhere between 20 to 30% volume from my phone. The minute you start cranking the i-Fi up, it starts sounding like it's getting a little bloated. It starts sounding like it's not too comfortable with emphasizing detail with higher volumes, because again, you're taking it closer to its ceiling of 70 milliwatts. Not that I've gone past 50% on my phone, but the ROSESELSA at lower volumes is much better defined. Even when you crank it up to a similar volume, when you start hearing blow to the i-Fi, it's definitely a lot better detailed, better structured. It doesn't sort of start feeling uncomfortable the louder in volume you go. And this is why, should I say, power, or should I say good and clean power, is also very important. And this is something I've noticed with a lot of speakers and amps, good amps in particular. Low powered amps tend to have a similar issue. The higher up you take them, the more they get closer to distortion and so on. So I'd say the RZ550 from ROSESELSA is pretty cool. Now the thing is, with the RZ550, what's really funny is also now it's obviously Chi-Fi. And one thing I've noticed is the little DAC amp says RZ550, which looks like an R2 550. But when I plug this into my Mac, it says it's the RZ500. So I don't know why they haven't changed the naming when you plug it into something. That's one thing that's strange. And the other strange thing I found, not so much with the RZ550, but with the i5. Now, I've done most of my A/B testing on my phone, and I've found that volume-wise, I can sit a bit lower compared to the i5. But when I plug it into my Mac, it's very strange because the i5 tends to sound significantly louder than the RZ. So when I go into the values of it on the Mac, there's a specific audio app you can go into. It's like the i5 is almost programmed to just start playing louder, or it has much higher values. So I didn't get into it and sort of try and alter those, but the RZ is definitely not, the i5 is definitely not as powerful or more powerful than this. It's just that it's tweaked a little differently to function differently on a computer. So that's something to keep in mind. But again, coming to the point of how they sound, if I had to choose between these two, I'd go with the RZ550 any day. Now, no doubt it is more expensive than the i5, but I think it's worth the extra bucks. Especially, I think it makes a lot of sense for people who want to sort of explore with balanced as well, because here you have the 3.5 as well as the 4.4 balanced. So even if you're into the whole cable swapping thing, in fact, I've got a few cables here that are quite cool that I can sort of change the 3.5 to a 4.4 for a balanced input to the IEMs. And this is the perfect kind of little dongle DAC to do that, because it does give you that sort of flexibility to be able to play around with different cables and different IEMs. So anyway, if you do like the sound of this, if you're looking for something that's neutral and you have good power and you want something that sounds at ease and comfortable in its own skin all of the time without rupturing your ears, I think the RZ550 is kind of like a diamond in the rough. Yes, it is Chi-Fi. You will see a different name when you plug it into your Mac or whatever computer you use. These are the funny things about Chi-Fi. I mean, the attention to detail isn't as high quality as, say, something you'd buy from Europe or something like that. But it's still a pretty good performer. It has a very good DAC amp in it. The chipsets are pretty good, and I would recommend it. So coming to the price, if you do want to buy this, I will of course leave the links below. This does go for, well, it does have an MRP over here at least for about 8,499 rupees. But at the time of recording this video, it's going for about 5,990, which I think is a pretty good price for this. Yes, it is expensive for a lot of people, but this is, I think, for the person who knows that they are going to expand to balanced or more premium sort of IEMs. I myself have paired this with the Simgot EA1000, and it's a beautiful sounding set of IEMs that I have tested in the past. I'll try and leave the review in the the little buttons up here or in the description down below. And the thing is, it is terrifically transparent, so it's helped me really understand both of these DACs a little bit better. And it just, I mean, go for the RZ if you're looking for something long term. I myself have had this for maybe about a year and a half. So the i5 is being kind of forgotten in this much time, which is sad, but it is genuinely a good performer. So that's my quick review on the RZ550. I do hope that this video has helped you understand this little DAC amp a little bit better. But of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.